Welcome back to Russian Madness, Session 40, Clockwork. They ended in a clock tower. We're just going to start from there. So we have the summary of the matters at hand. Everybody kind of has an understanding of what we're doing here, right? I hope.
Yeah, I think we were all here.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I'm not going to really step in your way. I will state that Sanat will step off to the side and inspect random things with a solemn, focused intent, interested, but for the current time being, um, focused
Mm.
on it and nothing else kind of situation. Okay.
I only see the bottom floor.
Probably.
Oh, you gotta zoom out and then
Okay.
skip over.
I
Yeah.
snap pinged. Everybody should be in the right spot.
Oh,
Perfect.
perfect.
Yes.
So, Robert, can you get that lever up there? You think? She like points up to where they can see the lever. I think it's like over here. Isn't that where it was?
It's not so much a lever as it is a ladder that is ascended up and kind of locked in place. It's not like a lever mechanism. If I said lever last time, I apologize. It's more
Oh.
like a lock mechanism, right?
Oh,
That can be kind
okay.
of like it's lever esque, I guess.
I think it was that it has to be like pushed like it can't just be like
Can't shoot it.
Yeah,
yeah, you can't shoot it.
that's the main thing.
Um yeah.
So I guess it has the pull action. That way it can drop when you pull on it
Right.
to unlock it.
Question still stands.
Yeah, can you climb up there and get it?
On it to the wall.
So there are a number of purchase points here that allow you kind of access to climb upwards. Those are mainly on the pillars that are to either side of the clocks. As you ascend upwards, what you realize is that there is about a 5 foot difference kind of between where the wall ends. Again, there's a bit of a isometric kind of nature to the walls, but they do go straight up. So when you get up, you'll basically be here-ish, but you'll be underneath the balcony above you. And what that means for you specifically is you will have to go to climb out under the balcony, and to get to the balcony edge, you'll either have to jump to grab a hold of that balcony edge and then climb up, or you'll have to try and climb vertically, which climb speeds don't allow for. You don't break the laws of gravity.
What?
Do my spider walking shoes still work?
Well, no, they don't. So as we discussed, the walls and everything in this space is spider climb proof.
Spooky.
How high up is this jump?
So it will be a pretty solid, like triangulated distance of about 12 feet, but not impossible. It will require an athletics check. It is, if I remember correctly, a 40-foot fall if you fail it.
Hmm.
Then eat you and hopefully catch you if you.
Going for it, or are you going to try something
We're
else?
going. It says 14 foot, so I can't like try to grapple up there with my chain.
You can try and throw a grappling hook or a kusurigama up that way if you'd like.
I'd like to try that.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll if you're using the kusurigama. Go ahead and make a dexterity, skill, or ability check if you're using a grappling hook. The DCs for these two actions are different. Okay, so the kusurigama hits, locks on, and manages to connect. Due to its narrow, like its distance being just about the same length as the distance, you are not certain about how well the kusurigama has latched around the position where you'll basically be climbing out to. So at this point, you have a chain, and it's kind of loosely attached to the balcony. Your options are to jump out and allow it to displace your weight onto it and hope that it keeps your weight, or you can make the jump and use it as a guide instead, which will give you advantage on your athletics check for the jump.
I will use my jump.
Okay, so make an athletics check. Okay. Does anybody have inspiration that they would like to spend?
And I
Didn't you just-
I will use it.
Didn't you
Oh,
just
okay.
say he'd have advantage from
Oh,
the
yeah, I did say
giving
that.
the guide?
You're
Okay.
well played, well played. So then you jump out, you
Go,
pull
Tom.
the chain. In that last moment, you can see that if it had been pulled at a further distance, had you gone out on the chain at a further distance, it would have recoiled and pulled back. But since you jump out with the chain in hand, as like a secondary measure, you're able to kind of bring your hand up onto the Kusurigama where it's latched, and then pull your weight at a higher point that doesn't cause it to shift, and then very quickly get your hand up onto the banister and pull yourself upwards. You are now here. And you can see the orbs as I described them. They seem to just float aloft in the air. They don't seem to have anything they're hanging from. Directly above you, though, there does appear to be more space. There is a balcony that is about 15 feet wide directly above you. And underneath it are a series of pipes that kind of interlace across the roof above you. Not like tightly. It's like maybe 5 or 10 different like kind of large posts of pipe. And then there's light coming in from above you, similar to the light that was coming in from the clocks. But it appears to be coming from a number of different windows, a total of 3 on each facing of the building, so for a total of 12.
Well, first things first. I want to check this locking mechanism. Can I kick this ladder down?
Yeah, so with the locking mechanism at your, at your level, you're able to very quickly, easily drop the ladder. The ladder is now down.
Can I examine this? What's this, the clay one?
No, that is. Yes. Yes? Let me double check my notes.
I think so. That's the clay one. That's brass. That's copper.
The blue, the green.
That's. I don't know. Was it throw it down?
Yeah.
Where'd the picture go?
Trying to. This works so much better on my phone. Pulling up these picture things.
Where is it? Someone talking? They're just pinging.
Oh, Elizabeth, you're muted.
Aww.
Try again.
Blue is elvish. Clay, we don't know. Iron, dwarvish. Jade, human, Vaziril. Jernarin, brass. Denisotvan, bronze. And Atavian gold.
And it's not so much a don't know, it's there's really no markers. It's just a circle that's made.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a Pokeball. It's got like a line
A
around the
Pokeball.
center, and then on the tops and bottoms it has the kind of like circle within a circle.
Mm.
So I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be a Pokemon.
What type would you be? No, I'm kidding.
Obviously a Rattata.
Normal fighting.
Yeah, the
Grass
I've already got about 90 of you guys. I don't need it.
But I'm a shiny.
But I'm a shiny.
I'm just straight up throwing that shit in there for candy. I'm just like,
Throw them in the blender.
yeah.
No!
Okay, but you can see there's also catwalks around here, which allow you to maneuver yourself around if you'd like. And as I mentioned, above you where you're currently standing, directly above where you're standing, there is another balcony. It's about 20 feet up. The walls here don't look like they're going to be as kind.
Can I climb that ladder that he dropped?
Yeah.
Can I jump on the orbs?
And it ends up right here, right?
So they are floating, as I mentioned. They look like they are kind of at different altitudes based on their sizes. The clay one that you just tried to jump upon hovers about 2 feet off of where the catwalks are located, and it is about 10 feet round, so diameter. So you'd have to jump 12 feet up onto it or kind of scurry onto it if you were going to try and jump onto it. But looking at it, you can see there are cracks that run throughout the entirety of the clay orb. Very long, kind of noticeable cracks. So again, you can do that if you wish to.
Look at Lose.
That, yeah, don't advise.
Mm-mm.
No.
Don't jump on it.
Yeah. Like,
What if we
it's
broke it
floating.
open?
Is this this part of the catwalk? Is that the balcony that's 20 feet up?
No, this is an actual solid balcony. The catwalk seems to run out from underneath it by about a foot, but it's an easy jump over a banister. That's the banister that he
Oh,
climbed.
okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Catwalk and balcony separate, yep.
Cool.
And then
cool.
another balcony above that's 15 feet wide.
Oh, it's 15 feet wide.
Yep. And then there's light coming in from
20
above.
foot up, balcony, 15 foot wide.
As you two kind of look around and are kind of quietly inspecting, the clock sounds are very noticeable. But there's also another sound that seems to be kind of lingering. I'd like for the two of you who are up there, or if there's more of you that are up there.
I was going to head up.
Okay, that's fine. You're up there. Go ahead and make perception rolls.
Not great. 10.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
22.
Sorry, my
I just had
He
really
was in a
shitty
different
rolls.
spot.
You're good.
Waiting for one more. Okay, so Vravik, you're a trained killer. You've snuck in on people who have been sleeping before. You're pretty sure there's a snoring person. Sounds masculine above you on the 15-foot balcony, 20 feet above you. It is a very faint sound that sounded just like weird background noise to everyone else. Like there's clicking, there's clocking, and then there's
Weesnaw!
No.
like that.
He needs to go through the sleep test.
Yeah, bro has apnea.
Yeah, you jump up there and you guys are like, "We're taking you to a sleep we're taking you to a
Sleep
95810, buddy." Sorry, work just came out. It's a sleep study code. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you work in healthcare?
Yeah, probably. Okay, so Vravik, maneuvering about like at the further end as you kind of make your way.
I'm gonna keep looking up. I'm like trying to find a way.
Yeah, as you kind of make your way over that way, what you'll notice is that you can kind of see up there, and it looks like right against the banister, there is a dresser that has been pushed against the banister, and then there's like a table that, based on this angle, has stuff on it, and you're again, cunning enough individual. It looks like there are chess pieces on the table, and there are 2 seats, and that's all you can see. And as you're kind of focusing for the sound, it sounds like it's coming from behind the dresser. So there might be a bed or something on the other side of the dresser.
Here.
Okay. Anybody else have anything that they're wanting to do? Anything that they want to
Hestia would probably be trying to study the Octavian sphere to see if there's anything unusual about its markings or if they're pretty bog standard.
Bog standard. Looks like it's symbolage that deals with the sun. And from what you can tell, it is kind of in the corner. And so the light that's kind of hitting it from below and above seems to be showing off a high level of polish. This doesn't appear to be the case with the other ones. This one specifically has an almost kind of reflective surface.
And the Dennis Sotfin one over here, is it pretty standard as far as light or reaction to any of the light in here versus the other non-Atavian ones?
Yeah, it is pretty standard. It's symbolage of, Atavius, the law of death, and that iconography, glorification to the dragons. It's made out of the metal I said it was, and it reacts like the metal normally should. The gold is very high polish. This is kind of a dull bronze.
Hmm.
And then this one over here, it looks like there's a damage to it here.
Yeah, that's
but
correct.
no.
So inspecting it, as Vrag's kind of moving back and forth, looking up, you kind of walk over to it, inspecting it, and you would see that it. Bear with me here. It does have. Checking my map notes here. It does have a crack in it, and it also looks like it's slowly drifting.
Which direction?
It seems it's drifting in a counterclockwise way. It's kind of spinning counterclockwise.
Okay. So it's not moving its position, it's rotating in
Yeah.
place. Okay.
Right. And as you are kind of looking at it and not looking up at the balcony, just kind of inspecting it, you would see that directly above you there's another ladder that is attached to the ceiling up above, and it looks like it goes all the way up to the roof and a door at the roof, like a trap door on the roof. But it is up. It does not look like it has been dropped. But you can see that in the groove or on the floor, in the wood, there are markers that seem to denote that it has been dropped before.
Okay.
Your passive perception is a +6, so you can kind of tell that it looks like if this were to drop, it would fall against the orb. It would the two kind of
Okay. And it would probably line up
with a crack. Yeah.
or at some point. And in the crack, does it look like it's all a solid material the whole way through?
Hold on a second. I'm getting some
I
static
think
from
that's
you,
Elizabeth.
Me?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh.
That's weird.
Are you still getting it?
Only Tom say something?
I'm gonna make it happen by talking. No, okay, I think
Okay.
it's better.
Yeah, it was only while he was talking, not while anybody else was.
Oh, that's weird.
Must be
Yeah.
all that divine power pouring out. I'm sorry. I'll try to
Hold it in.
keep it a little more under control.
So I was like, maybe it's my printer,
Yeah.
but you've never heard that before.
That might be it,
Oh.
actually.
It might be it, yeah.
Oh.
Eh.
Well, it's just kind of like a
Grinding sound in the
Fan.
background. It's not super loud. It's kind of like that.
oh.
So it is a solid material, John, the whole way through. It's
Yeah.
not like
It
some core covered.
No. It is hollow inside. Sorry.
Okay, so it's
like
a
an
shell.
egg.
Okay.
Yeah, but inside it's completely empty. And I apologize. I have got to pee. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Go, we shall discuss while you're gone.
What if we just break all of them?
Yeah,
I mean, we could.
Yeah.
Or I could play hopscotch with them.
I just don't trust the integrity of the thing floating in the air to stay floating in the air when you put weight on top of it.
Yeah.
Look.
Good freaking
If you
drop.
fall to your death, as long as I get down there.
How far can you throw me? Do you think you can throw me 20 feet or 10 feet so I can get?
What if we
down
stop the
there?
clocks
How do we stop?
somehow? I don't know how we stop them, but
Break
what
the-
if we
break the
do?
gears?
Stick something in the gear.
I might make the dude wake up. I'm also gonna crack up if it's Cardiff.
I could also do a ranged light spell on the highly reflective orb and blind everybody.
I mean, I don't know about everybody needing
Just close your
light.
eyes. It's fine.
Just close your eyes. Well, this is like straight up like Egyptian mirror shit that I'm thinking of, because with the trapdoor where the light's coming in, hitting the very reflective one, I'm like, great, it's just gonna go through everything.
Gotta line them up in order.
Yeah, turn them just right.
Oh god.
I don't think that clay will reflect very well.
Oh,
Oh, well, that's a good question, though. Like, do they move?
Well,
We haven't,
one of
like-
them is rotating in place, but I
Right.
don't know that we can reach any of them to.
Well,
The clay
this
one's
one,
only like 2 feet away. I can
yeah,
reach
we could
that
push
probably.
that one. I don't know how high up this one is, or the rest of them are, but it's something worth a shot. I don't know. Or
I
throw a
do
wrench in
think that
these.
Cat had a good idea with the light bouncing off of things, probably. I mean, it seems very
Yeah.
suspicious that one of them is highly reflective.
and there's a
Like a
trapdoor to
Christmas
the
ornament?
roof, like where the light would be, where the light's coming in. Like very sus.
Mm. But isn't the trapdoor like over here? And the shiny
Yeah.
one's over here.
Well, I know that was the ladder, but I didn't know if it was the trapdoor was directly above the ladder, or if the ladder
I-
took you to a landing and you could get to the trapdoor. Because over here also looks almost like it would be a ladder or something.
Oh, yeah. It does look like a ladder.
Maybe that's how we get up. I shall inspect. Is there a ladder here, John?
When you get back.
I see it on the map.
And there's another one that looks like it's damaged over here.
It does. It looks like
Oh, yeah, it does have a little damaged spot.
There's some
Light
here.
taken out of it.
Well, all of them are a little damaged because the blue one also has a little damaged spot, like right there.
Mm-hmm.
This dwarf one's fine. The
Well,
Nasopin one also has a couple of little chunks.
yeah. I don't think the shiny one's messed up either. Doesn't
Yeah.
look
We'll give Blathild a rope here for lasso it.
like it. Yeehaw.
You're a cowboy. Come on.
I am. Farmer is not the same.
It's the same. Look at
What
you.
if I just drop Moonbeam on them? I'm sure that will be fine.
I'm sure that will be fine.
I'm gonna drop a Moonbeam on the highly reflective one. Everybody may take a lot of damage, as Moonbeam is refracted everywhere.
I stand underneath
What's
it.
You hit it with like moonbeam, and then like it reflects like a sunbeam too, and like then we get
I mean,
super fucked up.
Radiant damage doesn't bother me, so I'll be fine.
You're like, I don't care.
Sir, I'm at half health and on fire like 3 times already. Please don't.
I mean,
That's because you make poor decisions.
if you fall to your death from trying to jump somewhere, as long as I can
figured
get down
the
there
angel
and
that was really set on killing Castian would go for Castian, and not go, that rat's behind me. Oh!
It's true. Rat always takes precedence. Not the rat! Oh my god!
Hold on, Fade bastard. There's
Hold
a
on a
rat
minute.
here. They're
Yeah.
gonna take care of this fucking
Hold
rodent.
please. Yeah, I gotta take care of the rodent problem.
Oh, yeah.
Exterminator in another life. I definitely understand that this one is cracked because you said like the ladder waxed it, but
what it sounded like, yeah.
I do want to know why everybody else is messed up, because there's not like a ladder over here to crack that one.
That's probably why they probably do move then if they're banging against the wall.
That's what, or like banging against each other or something.
We gotta put them in a straight line from smallest to biggest going up.
It became a bit more than what was expected, but we're back. So
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for sharing. I'm
Everything
so
came out
glad for
alright.
you.
Yeah.
I
No
just
blood.
wanted to make sure you understood why it took so long. That's all. Okay, so you solved the puzzle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Perfect.
totally.
and
Okay,
we got
so
all the loot. Everything's good.
on to the next
Yep.
part.
I'm up here about
We
to
found the
stab
guy.
this guy in the face. You know.
It's fine. We moved on. Well, we did all.
Okay,
No, oh, I did have a question.
Shoot.
Sorry. You were talking about a trapdoor earlier, and we see this ladder, and you said that went up. Obviously.
so yeah, up above the brass orb,
Mhm.
I'd say about 20 feet up. There's another section where the ladder drops and ascends. You know what I mean? And it's up currently.
Mhm.
It looks like it's adjacent to a pipe up above, and that ladder continues upwards even further to the ceiling. And at the top of that ladder is a trapdoor that looks like it would go out onto the roof of the tower.
Okay. So
The
it
trapdoor is
is
straight up.
straight up.
up.
Okay. Now,
I'd
That's
say
what I thought.
a total of 40 feet from the railings, or from the catwalk that you're on. It'd be a total of 80 feet from the ground level of the clock tower.
Okay. But directly straight up. Cool.
Mhm.
This right here, is this a ladder also? Or lever or anything?
Great
Does it look weird?
question. So on that side there, yes. Sorry, no, it is not. What it is. Oh, perfect. So this part of the banister, hanging over it, appears to be a metal panel. And Bravik, I assume you're the one that's checking it out.
Yep.
When you get to it, it's basically a metal sheet with two hooks kind of welded to the back of it that are hanging over the banister. On the opposite side of it, it is completely flat and reflective.
He's right.
Looks
That
like
mirror,
it's.
that reflective mirror thing you were talking about.
It looks like
I
it's made
know.
out of. This looks like it's made out of steel, like the panel, and it looks like one side of it has been polished to a high sheen.
Is it? You said it's on there with hooks, so does that mean it's like
Yeah, so
removable?
it's probably about 3 foot by 4 foot, so it's lighter than it is like, 4 by 4. It's a foot square. Simplify it, John. And then on the back end of it, there's two welds that have two metal hooks, and those metal hooks are hanging over the banister, so you could pick up the hooks and pull it over,
Pick it
and
up.
then move it somewhere else.
Well, don't pick it up right now. We don't know where it goes yet. You're just gonna be carrying around a heavy ass piece of metal. Um, um,
It wouldn't be the first time. I'm sure.
so I'm
I found
really
the
liking
thing.
my Egyptian mirror trick thing. um, and then over there where he's at, is there anything like that you can see directly above him? Like, because I know over here you can go all the way up. but-
Yeah, there's just pipes up above. I'll go ahead and, since I've kind of revealed verbally a bit about what's up there, I will. One second here. Since I just want more and more copies of you on the board because it's funny to me.
Yeah.
So again, you can't see anything, you can't see this stuff yet, but up above you there are pipes, like I mentioned, and they run the length of the space. Then the ladder that goes up, as I mentioned, it goes next to one of the pipes. This goes all the way to the top. There's the banister, there's the dresser, there's the table, and 2 chairs, chess. Yeah. And I'd say the closest one to this section would be the Denisotvan orb. It's probably only about 5 feet or 10 feet below these beams. So, yeah, because it's wide. Actually, that dimensionality is not working out. This needs to be 30 feet up. So the balcony's 30 feet up. I just realized my math is bad. It has been proven that by tradition, my math is notoriously bad. So
It is true.
Bit high.
So you said that was 15 feet from the
it's
bottom of.
closer to 10 feet or so from the Denisovans top. And I had
Okay.
to adjust. It's 30 feet above you, the balcony and the pipes, not 20
Yeah,
feet.
yeah.
Why is he so damn good at art and I am not? I'm running my game. Stop it. Don't do it. Sorry.
You're the one who's getting distracted.
It's me. I'm the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem.
How far up from the catwalks is the Atavian orb, John?
So it floats 5 feet. So it's like floating right. The bottom of it is right at the banister. It's about
Okay.
20 feet tall. So then there's probably another 10, 15
Yeah.
feet above it. 10 feet above it.
Okay.
I have a stupid idea.
Go for it.
I'm gonna take this little metal plate.
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk it over to Blathill and say, "Here, hold this above your head." I'm
What?
gonna climb on top of her. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and
And you
jump
want me to,
hook-
like,
and
push
hook
it?
that ladder with my Kursai.
Oh my god. Alright. We're
Okay.
gonna push you up while you're
I don't know if
jumping.
I can jump 10 feet. We'll find out.
So go ahead and make an athletics check, and then make a Kusuri Gama attack with disadvantage.
Cheapest bundle. Athletics. What's that? 12.
And then a Kusuri Gama attack with disadvantage. Okay. So, Cassia, you're over there while that's happening?
Yes.
Okay. So I would like
I am
both,
still looking at the brass orb.
I would like both Blathild and Cassia to make a dexterity saving throw.
I think it's being dumb. Give me a second. It's ready and now I'm broken. Trying to find my sheet. There it is. Okay, please try again. Okay, Dexter.
Okay, so the two of you managed to dodge out of the way and kind of put the shield above you to kind of catch Bravik a bit. But when the Kusurigama goes up, it flails up and very quickly arcs back down so that it descends faster than Bravik, and you're dodging out of the way of its sweeping blade as it slams into the floor. Bravik hits on top of Blathild and then hops down, kind of grabbing the Kusurigama and lancing it free of the wood.
You're right. Stupid idea.
Hands the mirror back.
Sorry, that's it. Sit back.
Take that shit back.
Look what I found, though. What do we do with this?
Put it back where it came from.
Castia will put light on a coin or something just to have an extra light source,
Okay.
and pointing it towards the opening on the orb next to her. I know you said it was empty because I can
Sure.
see through the dark. Does it do
So,
anything
by
weird
the
with the
time
light?
that all of these shenanigans have happened, it is moved in a fashion that is now pointing south. So do you want to try and move around it to get to it, or since you're just
Yeah.
standing right there, do you want to try and like grab the orb and move it to?
I think Castia would try and move it.
So you grab a hold of the markers, and it seems to stop the orb in place. And then you kind of pull on the kind of relief on it and maneuver it so that the hole is facing your light.
Does it? I know you said the general light reflecting was normal.
Yeah.
Inside, anything different?
It's completely flat. There's nothing to it. It's a perfectly sheen kind of orb. on its interior. And you see that there are pieces of brass that are inside of it
Okay.
that are
From
just kind
when
of
it
laying.
got cracked.
Yeah, looks like the brass kind of punctured inwards.
Okay.
Oh no. Where'd Elizabeth go?
Oh,
Our internet messed up.
great. Hold on.
She's restarting. Is what
I
she's
looked,
doing.
I looked over and she's gone.
It's this storm's getting really bad here. Also,
Yeah, around the 20s one.
I didn't even realize I was having a storm.
my husband literally texted me. He's like, "Hey, we may have to go next door." And I was like, "Well, just let me know because my headphones are canceling out the noise. I don't know that anything's going on."
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Run in here and grab me. So if we see him just running,
I know, right? If I just
tornado
like,
down the street.
oh the shit. Okay.
Oh.
Oh no, the illusion!
There's two of us.
The illusion!
Stop video. And then swapsies. Okay, perfect.
Okay. I will head over to the Batavian orb. And I know there's no damage on it that we can see, but I know you said it was highly reflective, so just trying to see.
Yeah, it's shining like a motherfucker because of the light spell, right?
Mm-hmm. And I position with the light source in my hand so it reflects off of this onto any of the other orbs. If not, I'll have.
So at this juncture, basically, it's reflecting in such a way that it is kind of like sun bright blaring across the room. It's actually creating an effect similar to daylight, the spell daylight. It seems to be magnifying your spell in such a fashion. So it is catching all of them in one portion of another, with the exception of the blue elfish one.
Okay.
Some of them will have shadows on them because other ones are in the way, but they all are getting a bit of light except for the blue elfish one.
We should put the reflective surface like over here-ish or wherever to redirect light from the one without markings to the blue one. If we can figure that out.
Yeah.
That change anything, John?
So you're trying to angle the mirror while holding it to reflect light off of the mirror to the blue one, or sorry?
Yes.
Making sure everything's getting hit by light.
Okay. So if that's the case, as the blue one takes on light, the light color changes. The light color changes to blue, and then the Atavian orb stops glowing, and it appears that the light is now emanating from the blue one, which is now literally emanating its own light.
Okay.
Now, in this position, the Atavian orb is not catching any light, so although it's catching it from the reflection, but it doesn't seem to be catching any naturally. From the mirror, it doesn't seem to be doing anything, but it seems that the Atavian orb is now muted.
Is this blue light like, bright, or is it just kind of a weird?
It's like it's like an eerie moonlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
If I come over with my own light again, does it amplify it or does it stay about the same?
So it seems to be just kind of emanating its own light, not reflecting anything. Yeah.
John, is
Can
it
I
able to
touch
join
it?
Zoom again?
You can join, yeah.
Cool. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Do we reposition Ravik to see if he can reflect the light emanating from the blue one? And is this light from the blue one hitting? Obviously, you said it's not. This one's not getting light, but is
Right.
it hitting all the rest of them?
Yeah, it seems to be catching all of the other ones in kind. And so if you're repositioning the mirror, like and trying to angle it from its current position, it touching with the blue light isn't changing anything. Doesn't seem to anyway.
Could we use the mirror from lower down do we think? To get
You could. But you'd have to
more?
descend down the thing with it. But the way the hooks seem to be positioned, it seems to hang from the banisters. That seems to be its natural course.
Need to hang it on something.
How, while I was gone, did you guys happen to try and move
I messed something
one?
up, or I made something happen.
Yeah, he came over here with his fancy light, and this one was glowing really brightly, hitting everything except for the blue one. And so we positioned the mirror here to reflect and make sure everything got hit. And now the blue one is just emitting its own light, and this one is muted.
Yeah, so it had a polished sheen to it before, and now it doesn't seem to.
The Tavian one?
The Atavian one, correct.
Oh, weird. Have we tried, like, actually moving one of these?
I was able to grab and spin this one over here.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one reachable, John, or is it far enough up that it is not?
So that one is about 7 feet off of where the ground is. So it's a bit out of reach. It's touchable. It would definitely be easier with an implement of some sort, with like an axe or something.
If you wanted to that work too. I was like,
With
get on my
Blockfield's
shoulders,
reach,
but-
she's still kind of touching it with the tips of her fingers at the parts where it's most kind of groundable, like because it's again the bevel of the orb is where the 7-foot marker is. So you're to get like a touch to get angle on it, it's still like a bit high. But if you, I mean, Blockfield would have the best chance of doing it like with her fingers. If you want to pull out an implement, you can also try and spin it that way because there's a bunch of grooves on these, with the exception of the clay one. So they, you can kind of like notch your weapon and kind of push, or et cetera, et cetera. There's plenty of implementation that can be utilized here to get it to spin or whatever.
So do we want me to try to move it, or like move it to like a different like area, or do we want to just spin it?
Well, do we even know if it can move to a different area?
Like, can I push it like over somewhere, or do we just want me to try to spin it around?
Let's start with trying to spin it just to see if it changes any kind of light.
Okay, so while you spin it, Vravik, make a perception check, and then based on your positioning, the Blaffield at work pushing stuff, Castia position where she's at. So it would probably be Lose who catches it. Okay, so what'd you get on your perception? 15? Okay, so when the light starts spinning, what you notice is the shadow of the clay one on the dwarvish one vanishes. So as long as it's in motion, the clay one does not appear to emit a shadow, Bravik. And then Lose, on your end, very noticeable, as you're kind of walking through the Atavion going, and you turn back to look what's happening. You see that the green orb seems to be not itself spinning, but the color on it is shifting. Like the color were cloud layers. And they seem to be moving in such a way that it seems to denote 4 different axes on the orb. One appears to be a tumult of cold. Another appears to be a regrowth period. You can very clearly identify them because of your lineage as the 4 seasons. As if the 4 seasons were spinning around
within this orb.
On that globe, yeah.
If we look down at the block hands, are they doing anything weird as all this stuff is spinning? And
great question. Yeah, they're moving a lot faster.
Oh god, we're in the future again.
No, I'm not time warping you.
You love chronomancy, though.
No, it's illegal.
It is illegal.
Right, so they're still moving in the correct direction, though.
Yes, but forward.
All 4 of them.
Okay. If we have the orb spin in the other direction, do the clock hands reverse or keep going at the faster rate?
Okay. Same thing.
Is the Atavian one reachable?
Yes, it's spinnable.
What happens when I spin it?
When you first try to, you notice that there is a bit of its patterning kind of in the median line, so like right around the equator of it, that seems to be lodged into a piece of masonry from the sidewall. It seems to have been slotted here, and it's able to move, but it's only like a very slight chunk.
So that one's more of a stationary one.
Seems to be kind of pressed against the wall in such a fashion that doesn't allow it movement.
Oh. Can I push it away from the wall?
It does not move in any
side to
direction other
side.
than circuit. It spins on its axis.
Okay. What if I move over here to the jade one?
Okay. So this one's very reachable. In fact, it is inches off of the catwalk. It actually blocks you from going underneath it directly. You'd have to kind of crawl to get out from under it. But you can get to it either by that catwalk, or that catwalk. When you walk over to it and touch it, you can feel that it's movable, but it definitely has more weight to it. And as you try to push it, it does not seem to move very easily. It's a very slight movement that you're able to perform on it with your strength score.
You require assistance.
You require muscle.
Bathild, can you help me with this one?
Sure.
Bit heavy.
When I leave this one, does it continue to spin?
For a moment, and then slowly stops.
Okay. Can I, if I give my axe to Castia, would she be able to reach it with it?
Well, again, yeah, that's
to
fine.
Spin it, to continue to spin it if we wanted to continue spinning
Did
it.
Sarth come up with us? No.
No, he didn't make it because he wasn't able to get through, and he didn't have teleportation magic. He's with Orlandis and with Astrogoth.
Astrogoth. Right, okay. He's guarding them. Can Bathild spin this jade one?
So Blathild is unable to do it by herself. She's definitely has better.
And we do it together.
If the two of you work together, your strength score is
Mine is
sufficient.
12.
So yeah, you're able to, the two of you, once you start working at it, push it. But before that happens, because this could potentially be funny, I would like for both of you, without saying a damned word, send me a direct message telling me whether you're pushing it clockwise or counterclockwise. Say nothing to one another. Do not dare. You must send me the message direct.
What about up and down?
Not an option. I already told you that.
But what if?
Okay. And then Cat. God damn it.
Did we do it right?
Yeah, so you start pushing it clockwise, and it starts spinning.
We are at a clock, so.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well played. So as you start,
Cat cheers.
Yes.
as you start pushing it, and it starts to spin, the green orb, the color shift, seems to hold the color in position because it's not spinning. Sorry. This is a very hard thing to explain. Let me try it from the beginning. When you push the physical object, the cloud layer or color around it remains stationary. So
It's like one of those liquid core dye that have like an eyeball in it.
That's fair. It's also kind of like someone's projecting like an image on a surface, and then the surface is moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like that color layer is like light that's kind of like stuck to it, but you're moving the physical object underneath it.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all that happens. So it doesn't look like the color layer or the light around it or whatever is moving.
Cassia, can you spin the blue one a little bit and see if the
Sure thing.
do anything together?
Do you spin it counterclockwise just to be a troll?
I
Check.
kind of want to, but I will be a good
JK.
person.
So when you spin it and it spins in unison, after a fashion, it starts to spin of its own accord.
Okay.
And it seems to
Which
also,
one? The blue one?
the green one, which
Okay.
also
Oh.
locks the blue one into the same pace. And they both kind of meet at a very slow and very orderly rotation. And you'll notice that this seems to level off the timing of the clocks down below.
To a kind of the normal pace.
It's almost as
So-
if, like, you know that the clock hands have moved very erratically because you watched them do it. But when you look down at it and your mental clock kind of imagines, oh, it's been about 5, maybe 10 minutes that we've been doing this, the clock is 5 to 10 minutes away from where you remember it being when you last looked at it.
Okay. So I can move away from it, or we can move away from it, and it's just spinning now.
Correct.
Can
When you step away from it, Lose, and look around, you would see that the Denisotvan orb, all of the eyes of the skulls appear to be glowing a slight shade of green.
ooh, spooky. But it's stationary,
It's not moving.
not moving. Is it far up from either this little balcony
Absolutely not.
here?
It is literally like inches away from touching the banister.
Okay, so if I go over here and spin it clockwise,
You grab a hold of it, try to. It seems to be like locked in place.
it's locked in place. Okay.
From what you can tell, yeah. Either you're too
And
weak
then-
or it is absolutely like immovable rotted.
Both could be
I mean,
the
it is
case.
really big
It can
here.
be both.
It is.
If
it's
Blathild
big.
rushes over to try and, like, get a move on it as well, Blathild, you'll also notice that it appears to be very
Like,
rigid
Like it doesn't budge at all.
at
or-
all. It feels like
Okay.
it feels like you're slamming against a wall.
Does
Oh.
it need some WD-40?
So you find the can of WD-40. It's in the utility drawer at the clock base. Pop back up. There's that magical WD-40 that like gets the non-existent arcane axles. You know the ones.
Yeah.
Tell the one.
Okay, so you're walking over to this one. This one is close enough to the wall where you can get, or it's far enough away from the wall that you can get underneath it, but it does require some kind of like ducking and maneuvering because it's kind of hanging out over the
Little
top.
army crawl.
Yeah, and it's close to the banister as well. It's 20-foot, diameter is relatively close to you. It's very easy to touch and to spin. And you've already
Can we
witnessed
spin
it.
that
Yep, you can. And
clockwise?
it spins fine, but nothing's happening like as you spin it, other
Okay.
than you can see there's a hole
Army.
in it.
Yeah. Army crawl. Was this one close or no?
It's a little bit of a reach, but it has enough of kind of like solid lines and patterns on it in its carving that you can kind of get a hold on it and spin it.
Okay.
And it does spin, slightly more so than the rest of them.
Okay.
And when you're kind of spinning it, it doesn't do anything. Vravik, you were the one who noticed that the jar orb was not emitting a shadow when the blue one was being spun of like someone's volition. As you're kind of looking at it now, you can see that it is now casting a shadow on it from the moon orb. And the moon orb's spinning. The blue elvish one, so to speak.
Oh, that's the moon one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that
Okay.
that was the moon. This one over here was likely the sun. This seems very Earth-like with 4 seasons on it and stuff. So,
Well, there are
this
many.
is
There are many of
wondering.
aspects. There are many aspects of Earth being represented here. It's not just the one.
Mm.
So yeah, that's you're not wrong, but it's a specific aspect of Earth. But
Okay, 4 seasons.
keep the reasoning correct. You're locked onto something that's very tangible and important.
Okay.
So Vravik, the shadow is now present from the clay jar, where it wasn't before when Blathild was pushing the orb around. But now the orb that was being pushed is spinning of its own accord. You're muted if you're talking, buddy.
There you
Can I spin the clay?
You can. It doesn't do anything.
go. Mm.
It definitely feels very brittle in your clawed hand, though, as you kind of push it about.
Can we try
Do-
lighting the Atavian one again?
I was going to suggest that humans and elves spinning at a similar rate or being matched. If those are matched up, then I would assume this dragon one and the Denisotvan one might be interconnected as well. So I think we should try to figure out a way to spin those. I could also try to, I don't know, like cast mending on the clay one since it seems so brittle.
What you'll notice is the dwarvish one, like I said, spins with very little effort. It is going
Okay.
very fast. It is a very well-oiled machine. So even with your efforts to try and slow it down, the clay jar's normative speed, which is based on the other ones, is not fast or as fast as the slowest possible speed of the dwarvish ones. So if you want that one to go as fast, you're going to have to get it going. But it's also very brittle, so keep that in mind too if that's important to you.
If it is reachable, you said.
Yes.
So can Castia do mending on it to start trying to deal with some of the cracks on it?
Okay, so that does seal up the cracks on it. It does seem to solidify the core of it. And then, do you start spinning it or have Ravik do it?
That clay, we'll just run on it.
I'll start spinning it. I'll try to get it up to pace with the dwarf orb.
Or you
I really like-
together
I-
We're doing it together. We're on both sides. Just keep...
Yeah,
I-
exactly. That's
so-
what I was like.
Fox and I really like the mental image of that, but the problem is
It's
the orbs have the same property that the entire tower has. You can't spider climb on it.
Okay, climb on it.
I do like the image of it though. Well, a guy, and then he pops off, and there's like this big water bottle with like a metal.
Oh no.
I don't know where it came from, but there it is. So if you start spinning,
It was from the guy up top.
Yeah.
if you start spinning the clay one and you start spinning the dwarvish one at the same speed, getting the clay one to spin as fast as the other one, the clay one starts to show signs that it's breaking again, despite the mending. Ravik, do you wish to push it, or do you wish to kind of hold back? It looks like it's about to reach the same speed.
Push it.
Okay. So it doesn't shatter or anything or break. It does maintain its velocity and speed, but you can
I
tell
was going to say, try and cast mending on it again when it started to.
yeah, you would notice that the cracks seem to be formative and all throughout. Like it's very much breaking from the velocity. So the mending would effectively renew it for a refresh, but it still seems that the cracks would eventually kind of take hold. It's not meant to do this. And so as those two are spinning, nothing changes. It's just those two are spinning, and your jar one is kind of like breaking apart.
So can we stop this one? This one doesn't seem to want to move, so can we leave them stationary and perhaps attempt to get this one spinning?
Bravik, do you try to stop that one when they suggest that?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Just kind of.
And how do you want to stop it? Do you just stop it?
Just
Gently
stop.
put my hand on it, slow it down gradually.
Okay. And you're using your paws or your claws?
My paws.
Okay. Okay, so after a long fashion, if care is taken to not break it, it stops.
And I come over here and attempt to spin this one.
It spins just like the blue one did.
Okay.
And the Denisotvan one, that one
Doesn't
we
spin.
can't reach. Okay, it
Well-
does not spin.
Yeah, it didn't spin.
Okay.
I mean, Could we all try it at once, maybe?
You could. I will tell you that you go for that and nothing happens. It doesn't spin.
Dang.
But the eyes are currently glowing
I'm
green.
gonna
They're
make
glowing.
note that this one stopped casting a shadow. I'm gonna go over to spin the blue one. I'm gonna tell Lucy to spin the clay.
Well, the blue
Okay.
one's already spinning, isn't
I'm
it?
gonna
It
make
is.
it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
touch it though.
So if you do reach up to try and spin it, it's definitely moving at a clip it's not a super fast one, but it's a fast enough one that you don't think with your angling, because you have to reach up to kind of get to it, and also with its current speed that you would be able to push it any faster than it's already going. But what you can tell is that you can see from this position that where the light is going through the jar, you can see the cracks of the jar, the broken jar. You can see the light going through the cracks. So you can see that there's like a webbing on the dwarvish one. That makes sense? It's almost like this weird kind of eclipse of pieces.
I was literally just about to say the word eclipse, giving eclipse vibes.
But it's like an eclipse, but if the moon were broken into pieces, right? So it's like all of these different internal coronas kind of fighting each other.
Can I use the mirror right here and try to just redirect some of the light directly to the dwarven one?
So yeah, the issue is that there's still light that is blocking the clay jar from that vantage point. There's no angle on that catwalk that you would be able to get to destroy the shadow of the clay jar.
Well, like right here.
That's a good position. So yeah, that would be satisfactory. Okay, and so once you do that, the clay jar shatters, all the pieces falling to the ground. Sitting in the middle of it, kind of floating in the air in the middle of it, is a light all its own that has kind of a purplish color to it. And the dwarvish center, the eyes of the dwarf faces on two sides, shimmer shine. And it starts to spin on its own at the same speed and velocity as the blue and the green. The eyes on the Denisotvan orb change to purple.
And it's still stationary.
Yes. Well, the Denisotvan one is still stationary, correct?
Yeah, the dentist. Sorry, I should specify.
How
correct.
far is this purple
Um,
light that you said? is
Huh?
floating there? You said there's a light floating here? No.
There's a light floating where the clay one was, yeah. Hold on.
Is
So
this one
how far does-
spinnable?
Does it reach very far? Or is it very bright?
1 second. One question at a time. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
Is this one spinnable now, or is it still locked in
It
place?
seems to be still locked in place.
Damn.
But that sounds like there is a chance it won't be locked in
Yeah.
place at some point.
I think we
Well,
need
no.
to go into this one now and get it doing whatever.
So what do you do with it, Kat?
Let me spin it again and see.
When
if
you spin it, the
Right.
Denisotvan orb starts to spin. So as the two spin, what you'll notice is that inside of the orb, you can hear the metal pieces, the broken shards of the outside of it, kind of flopping around inside. As it's moving, it seems to be catching the light from basically every other orb. It's catching it perfectly. And as it seems to maneuver, the dragon one, as it seems to maneuver, it seems that with each facing of it that gets caught in these lights, it changes the Denisotvan orb's coloring from green to blue to purple, from green to blue to purple, from green to blue to purple, over and over and over again as you spin it. So every time that the facings change, the ones that are facing against the Denisotvan orb on this, it changes those three colors. There seems to be a long gap in between purple and green, almost as if there was something else that needed to be there. And that happens to be when the facing, where the broken portion is, faces against the Denisotvan
Yeah,
side.
Cassia.
Can you mend this broken one?
I will certainly try again.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if you reach in and kind of pull out the shards
Mhm.
and start kind of placing them, trying to cast mending on them. Did you try this before?
No.
Oh.
Not this one.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
It was the clay one.
Okay, so no, yeah, it
It looks
succeeds.
weird.
It just takes several efforts because it's
Yeah.
not just one piece; it's like a grouping
Yeah.
of bits, and you have to kind of the real puzzle, the jigsaw.
I mean, he had all that
Oh.
practice
that
with.
was weird.
I really
He had all
Puzzle
that
night.
practice with putting the ship back together with
I missed a great
beholder
opportunity.
friend. So
Yeah.
I missed a great opportunity. I should have drawn the hole and then drawn
Mhm.
the part that goes in the hole, broken it up
Yeah.
into pieces, and then had a map where you could move the pieces. And that could have taken at least 10, 15, 20 minutes of this daycare thing. I mean, with the game that we're playing.
You underestimated.
Okay.
So once you've got that locked in, you continue to spin it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when it gets to that last facing, the broken facing, what ends up happening is the Atavian orb once again relights, and it creates the fourth light in the Denisotvan eyes, which would be a goldish color. And as you spin it through the 4 cycles once again, the Denisotvan orb glows on its own accord, and you can see that it rotates through the colors and is basically starting its own engine process. This causes the clock down below to glow in a very bright way. And Sanat would yell up to you, I think you've stabilized it. And we'll kind of like go through some weird process down there, saying that, or doing something that I would have explained to Joseph if they weren't locked in at work.
They just finished, apparently.
No worries. I don't want to run them through the whole process. But basically, what Sanat is able to do with a few Arcana rolls and being present here for the whole time, they now understand that when they get back down to the base of the tower, they know how to control the tower, and the tower can now be used to move anywhere they want in the plane of Urs. Any location that they are aware of, they can move the tower to it.
That sounds awful.
The whole tower?
Like,
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 The
like,
whole
there's just
tower.
There's just some little couple over there having a picnic somewhere. He's like, I liked that spot. The tower on top. This is my picnic spot.
Once that happens, you hear it kind of, ugh, ugh, what's going on down there? Ugh. From above
Did you have a nice nap?
yeah.
nap?
That's me to join us.
I fixed the tower.
And then you hear him go, wait a second. Cardendian? No, Einkaradian. That's an Einkaradian accent from, what, the 1100s? 1050 something? You see, you see an old man
Better
kind
to
of,
not guess.
Doctor!
you see an old man kind of pop over the rail and kind of look down at you with a big long beard that looks like it's never been combed or brushed or cut. His eyes look kind of just very confused, bright and blue. He's wearing pajamas. He has a Liberty cap, which is kind of like, you know, like a Link style kind of like sleeping cap. And it looks like you can see the curls of his slippers, his sleeping slippers, as he kind of reaches or looks over the rail. Who are you?
Well, I'm Lose. Who are you?
Not important. Just as important as you. You're not supposed to be here. This isn't even supposed to exist for you.
Well,
I felt like I was supposed to be here.
Oh yeah, well you're supposed to be here.
well, she's why we're here.
Wait a minute.
We're together.
Oh.
We're all in this.
It's together. Yeah. We all start singing
Okay,
that.
that's canon. That's canon. That's canon now. You understand?
The old man kind of stares in your direction and says, I see now. This isn't just after I sent you off, is it?
You sent her off on her own.
Oh, no, not on her own, with him.
With who?
Ooh.
With the Nio.
Looks at Blythild. Did you happen to find a boy in the field? I'm guessing is that a boy? It's a boy's name, right?
It's a man's name. The
A
first
man.
man's name.
Oh.
Definitely didn't find one of those.
Looks at Castia.
He shakes his
Is
head.
that your boyfriend?
But if this isn't after that, then how are you here?
We accidentally walked through the front door.
Accidentally?
I mean, she
Purposely.
was able to unlock it.
It was
Points
there.
at Castia.
He kind of like shakes himself, like just confused, and then kind of like quickly moves his fingers. And most of you who are familiar with spellcasters realize that's what's happening. But you've never seen a spellcaster go through the motions as quickly as he's doing it.
He's doing jutsu.
You then watch as his body becomes this distortion of like just space and time, and then he is in a bright blue robe with a beautiful blue cap on the top of his head, a majestic green scarf, and a staff in his hand that seems to have a hourglass settled in its center. He lifts up over the banister and starts to descend down to the railing that you're on. If you guys
Tom, I fucking called it.
Are you-
I fucking called it while you were at the bathroom.
You're not gonna be as mean to me as that lady was downstairs, right?
lady,
Yeah,
Oh!
she was a dick.
Angry
lady,
fiery angel.
I forgot about her. I'll be completely honest.
It's alright, she's not around
Yeah, I
anymore.
was about to say, she's no longer with us.
You're it's a very complicated lineage, isn't it? But this isn't just after that. It can't be. You're from... He kind of leans in towards, like, who would be the closest? Bravik, probably?
Yeah, right.
Kind of leans in.
I'll make my way over.
1056! He says, he smells immaculate. Like, he smells so good. Like, whatever you think would smell great, like, I don't mean like in an edible fashion. Like, I mean more in like
Freshly
a...
grated Parmesan cheese.
No,
That
no,
is
no,
the
no.
scent of this.
No. He doesn't sound like delectable. He doesn't sound like something you would eat. He smells like I don't
Like
know.
magic and sandalwood.
He smells like magic and
Smells like-
sandalwood.
Magic and stuff.
That's canon.
That's canon. And I'm gonna have to have Dan step his game up on sense. He looks to you and says 1056. CA, right? Approximately the 5th era. That feels right, right?
Yeah.
But we just did this.
I mean, it could have just happened. I only remember like
I couldn't
2
have
months.
Only been like, 3 months maybe.
I couldn't have been sleeping that long.
She's killed a dragon since then, so that's
The dragon
cool.
was a pirate for
Hasn't.
a week.
He shrugs.
Rude.
I mean, she's only remembers things for like 2 months.
She was there when they were made.
For what?
She was there when they were made. She was there before your progenitors came into this world. Lass.
Lass.
Very strange timing, to be sure. I can't have been asleep that long. There's no way for it. Maybe.
You are snoring pretty hard up there.
What did Onayo say to you?
Who?
And not you, lass. Her. What did he say? You're muted.
Told,
Oh, good. Sorry, I thought you were muted.
he told me to find another way.
Ah. Ah.
And when Castia says that, she almost seems surprised that she has an answer for that.
He starts stroking his beard. Another way. So wait. Okay. I just want to make sure I understand this correctly. You are a gorgeous-looking elf, if I've ever seen one, and you have a handsome specimen of Jernaran fitness and physique. Well, you aren't a bad-looking rat folk. I believe, what is it? You happen to be a Long Whisker, right? From the Long Whisker clan, somewhere around the midst of Janar's Parnak, right? In the midst there? Good, good. And I assume your friend down there, elvish in nature, but a ladrin in prospect. Very interesting to be sure. And the symbols they bear upon them make them out to be a member of a faction that hasn't even been, well, that it would be in your time. But, so what are you doing here? Yeah, you said accident, but there must have been a goal, right? You're here for a reason. You said you walked in the front door, but you walked in the front door.
Well, we kind of ran into the front door.
I
Sword
walked
break.
in. They had to run in because there were people that were very mad that I opened the door, but I felt
Yeah.
like I needed to
Apparently, the
be in
people
here.
of Sword Break don't really like this place.
Sword break?
Yeah, it's a little town off the coast.
No, yeah, I'm aware of it.
Oh, okay.
Well, there was actually 3 different sword breaks. There was one in the old lands of Albius, and then there was one that the name was actually spoken in the giant tongue, which, just to say the 2 words at present, was a mouthful to be sure. It took about a week. But that was before Trasdocia fell. And then Swordbreak of your era, I think it manifested somewhere in the mid 500s.
It's
Anyway.
not very friendly.
No, for certain.
No.
Especially not if you have one of them around. The snake bearers, the conglomerate, I think they were called. Petty little
Yeah.
laws of magic.
We were on our way to Penford, where
No,
I think
wait.
there's more of them.
Hold on. I know time might be of importance to you, but I assure you it's not really. But can you believe mortals trying to make laws over me? Magic? Over magic?
I know, right?
It's quite foolish, to be sure. The winds blow regardless. Anyways, I suppose it's nice to have laws over mortals. Grey order.
They have to have their fun, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose they're necessary. I'm sure that Octavius would be fond of them.
Haven't met him.
I assure you, he's a prick. He's either got the right of it or he's just a swell of bedlam. It's one way or the other. It's his way or all
His
of the
way?
highways all at once. It's not great. So, but no, right. So you came in here for refuge, but you came in here on purpose. And this here that you're talking about was a tower in Swordbreak, which means that this was the manifest tower of...
I was the only one that could see it for a while, and then it was actually there.
That's so interesting. The person whose name is upon the marker of the physical tower here is a false one, given on purpose. That does not deceive mine eyes. Foolish, trying to trick powers with false names. You think I can't get the right of it? And you see his eyes just kind of shifting side to side. Oh, yes. Powerful name magic, to be sure. The blood. That's not possible. He looks up at the group. Tovesh Nernon. That's the name that was on the tower, right?
That's supposedly who built it, but that doesn't
Yes.
sound right either.
But also no. But also yes. It can be both.
Who knows? People have the same name all the time.
Well, it's not so much that. If it were a false name given out in an effort to deceive, I would be able to see through it. But it seems that whoever put the name upon the tower did so with the correct bloodline. A cursed individual, to be sure. Very interesting deception.
I mean, one of my husbands was named after their grandfather.
What's it like having a husband?
What?
I just never had a husband. Well, I guess I have. Have
I
I?
mean,
Have you? You said you have. What's it like?
All right. Gets kind of boring sometimes, but you know,
Oh, then why do
they're humans, short lives. It was fine.
why do you do it then?
Children,
Sorry, I'm
love.
getting distracted. So, you came in here for a purpose then. What was it?
That is a very good question. I
Another
don't know. I just know that I needed to.
another way. Well, you're not supposed to be here.
I get that a lot.
Well, you're not supposed to be here now. You're supposed to be here then, but I guess I slept through it. If you were here, I wouldn't have known about it. Huh.
Me neither.
And he told you another way. You need to find another way. Where was he when he told you?
Let's see. Generally in evil trees.
Oh, and Aincrad.
There was that tree, but there was also the tree in the vampire house.
Mm, it was there too.
I saw
Maybe you need to stay away from trees.
Vampires, blood of Vacaslurd, connect to Taveshnernon to Al-Nusero, death. When the trees, were they... And he starts spitting off Elvish. Were they portals? But it's like this very fancy and like perfect like vernacular Elvish.
I don't know what he said.
Were they portals?
The one was.
Yeah,
I fixed that one.
He kind of shakes his head.
that was the one in Aincrad. Yeah.
So he was reaching out to you from somewhere else.
The first time he seemed surprised.
Do we need to go through the trees?
Oh no, that'd probably be bad. But
I don't know.
another way. I apologize for sleeping through your first presence here. I sense something about you is off. You don't remember, do you?
I don't remember much of anything other than
He kind of
2 months ago.
tosses his staff off to the side. It starts floating in the air, and he kind of walks over to Castia, kind of just floating past whoever's in the way. And he kind of comes over to her and like offers his hand out like he was going to take your hand.
The last time somebody tried that, they got really mad.
I promise you, if I were going to get really mad, it would have already happened. I just need to see something.
If you hurt her, you will lose your hand.
I can't hurt a divine power, madam.
That's
I
just
will still
Castia,
try.
though. I mean, that's fair.
Castia will tentatively
He
reach
kinda-
out.
He kind of looks over at you. Who?
Castia?
We stand.
Points at Castia.
We stand in the grace of the divine power, Stasia, goddess of the moon, brought from the dread plane, the dark moon, Lady Umbra herself, sister.
Those are a lot of
That's a lot of
fancy
words.
words.
Sister of Alawain, goddess of life,
You have a sister?
harbinger of light and hope and freedom amongst many elves for centuries. Is this not canon in your timeline? Because I broke every ley line. I shattered everything beyond what it's supposed to be. There's
Is
no
that why
way.
I couldn't get home for a while?
What? What do you mean home for a while?
I couldn't get into the Fey realm. I couldn't get to Aincrad.
What does that have to do with temporal realities?
I don't know.
Nothing, madam.
It
nothing.
was broken.
Let me see your hand. You're getting.
Castia will very hesitantly reach out.
He very coyly kind of looks over his shoulder at Losek. You are taking me off my task. Do not distract. Takes her hand and looks at it. And it's just like a very long, dull moment of him just staring at her hand. And then he reaches out and grabs her fingers and flips it over so he can see her palm. Then smacks her hand away. Ah, you are cunning. Very, very cunning. Ah, a shimmering, shining beacon of light and hope in the night sky. But able to conceal yourself behind the shadow of the earth itself. So funny. Very good, very good. You aren't you. You are something else. You're a child. How old is she? A few months, if that? Pathetic.
That's what we've been telling you.
Yes, I know. I wasn't
And she's
listening.
already killed a dragon.
But now I know. Well, I guess that's kind of impressive. But anyways, it's more impressive than it seemed before because I thought she had unlimited power over life and death at her capacity.
I figured
She
we
has
would
no such
probably
thing.
know if she was.
Oh, well,
I mean, I did fix the tree.
She did fix the tree, that is true.
She does have the power, but it's currently being cloaked. Because if she were to reveal herself in the material plane, she would be hunted by them.
There
I
are
hate
some people that have been really mad at me.
No,
That's true.
none that you have been able to avoid, not been able to avoid as yet. I assure you, if the Grey Order wished to cause you issue, they would. And unfortunately, one of them would probably be your own champion, as he has sworn his
Sarth?
allegiance. Sarth?
He's downstairs.
No.
I
He kind of
don't think he would.
He kind of takes a second. You see his form like kind of dash a bit, and those of you who are a bit more perceptive actually watch as a form of him like traces off towards the ladder, slowly climbs down it, but like it's doing it in super fast motion, and then eventually climbs back up and then snaps back to him. And he's like, I mean, a handsome boy, but nowhere near as stunning as the elf champion of the moon, Thorn Stasia Noddle, the wielder of the... Oh, that's another reason why you probably can't switch.
Sounds like a prick.
I mean, probably. I guess everyone has their prickishness. But no, I see what it is. Okay.
Real?
Of course.
You missed the pun. It's fine.
Oh, 'cause Thorn. Oh. Gain
I mean, it's
inspiration.
right both ways. I mean,
It is.
Get you some inspiration.
He had it.
Give it to someone else. That was
Whoever wants it,
more
I'll
than
take it. I
more
laughed.
than fair.
take it. It's yours.
He says, you can't see because you have been blocked from doing it. You had hoped you would be welcomed. And when you weren't, you hid. That is interesting. This isn't the first time we've done this, then. We must have done this several times before, but not you, this child, but you, perhaps someone else. This isn't you. I don't think this will ever be you. But, to ensure that it's possible, I must throw caution to the past and to the present, in hopes that you will do everything you can, divine goddess Stasia, to ensure that your future is your own, that you write. The same rules must abide by all beings, gods, mortals, the like. We should all have freedom to coerce with one another, and the laws of the Covenant should be broken, in my opinion. But I can do nothing with the others standing against me. I would need help. And he reaches into his sleeve, pulls out something,
Grab it.
and then kind of reaches back for your hand and says, no, it says nothing, but kind of like offers to like take your hand again.
okay.
Do you offer it palm up or palm down?
Palm up.
Okay, he places something in your palm, and when you look at it, you have a very quick, cognizant flash of just a lot of things happening all at once. You see you standing, and not you in a different form, Cassia standing in complete and utter blackness, high above what appears to be the world of Urs. Positioned around you are three entities which seem to just be blossoming with pure and unadulterated power. One appears to have power over life and death and appears to be a very beautiful woman, not too dissimilar in looks from Castia, but with a bit more of a motherly and older look. Her hair is brown like Castia's, flowing wildly in an unseen wind. She holds a staff or scepter. At the top of the scepter is a rose. You see a form in robes, all just kind of fluttering in the wind with a metal or porcelain, you can't tell for certain in the light, mask over their face. And it seems that the just pure radiance of holiness and the absolute stunning horror of the fiendish being just seems to radiate from this creature in its entirety. To the side of that is a man who is the most beautiful man you have ever seen in your life. Long flowing brown hair. In his hand he holds the cross of Atavius, the only real marker you've seen in this vision that you are certain of. And he's kind of pointing, just kind of dismissively, at the man or at the woman or at the thing that seems to be present where you're standing, and you feel the weight of judgment placed upon you. This is a momentary flash through thousands of other momentary flashes. And the last kind of things that you see and hear are Sarth fighting someone, screaming out, you'll pay for what you've done, for Orlandis. And then him in pain, uttering, I can't do it. You hear Lose breathing heavily, and you hear a voice of a man from a foreign land say, you are a woman of considerable skill. I haven't enjoyed myself this much in quite some time. You hear the slow footfall and the jangling of chains. And then you hear hundreds and hundreds of swords and feet slamming together against wood on rooftops. You hear burning. You hear the screaming of familiar voices. You hear Blathild crying, saying the names of her children. You hear words, whispered, broken, magical words, all said wrong, all said over again to try and do it correctly the second or the third time, as a woman erupts from the maw of a horrific three-mawed beast and grabs Sinat's head and crushes it. And then you snap back to the reality, and there he is, the old man, with the thing that he placed in your hand. It's a small piece of stone, and on it is an old elvish rune. Lose immediately recognized the stone as a rune stone, which are powerful elvish artifacts which are placed inside of a rune sword. And Castia, you know in your heart and in your mind, it belongs in a very specific sword.
I bet I know which one.
Right. Hopefully that helps. Well, enjoy the tower.
Castia will kind of like be dizzy and like drop to a knee and try to like hold on to the catwalk to stay steady.
I'm gonna reach over and steady her.
He kind of says, well, enjoy the tower. I believe it still exists in the material plane, sans the clock engine. Although, know this, it still powers it. I would hope that you all are able to find the correct path for you. I know that you can see far and afield of things that I have tried to stop others from seeing. My power to break predestination is limited to mortals. You beings, unfortunately, can see the streams, and I cannot break that of you, despite my best efforts. He raises his hand, and you see a circular symbol with etchings kind of out from it, 3 of them in total, the symbol of the Atma. It glows blue, and you're all at the base of the tower. Sanat's holding the weird cube, and if you are curious as to the state of things when you arrive back at the base of the tower. Your mind is filled with a fog. Almost like that whole sequence was like a dream. And I need everyone to go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Super fun.
In mood. 6.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Would this help at all?
Your wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
So it would be
What's your charisma modifier?
19.
2.
You said a charisma modifier
Charisma modifier 3.
3, so that's a 20. So that's on the nose. Okay. So yeah, you remember everything that happened inside the tower perfectly. Castia, of course, you remember everything that happened inside the tower perfectly. This will help Joseph roleplay in character. Joseph's only recollection of the tower experience is that they now know, or sorry, Sanat's, is that they now know how to use it. And everyone else, there are fleeting bits and memories of it that linger like a dream, but it's stuff that you can't actively recall. All right. Here. Go ahead.
Castia will look into her hand and see if that runestone is still
Yep.
there. Okay. She will quietly pocket it.
Cool.
So, you are, for lack of a better term, back to life, back to reality.
Mm-hmm.
This is a classic deep cut that I probably am the only one who knows. But you are in the tower that you originally walked into. Sanat is also there, holding the cube.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is one way to get to Penford now.
Yeah, but all of our stuff's on the ship. I guess we could just come back. I don't know.
Sanat says, I'm pretty sure I can move us to wherever we need to go. I have goals and aims and desires of my own. I have to get something inside of this tower and seal it away.
So you need to seal something inside of this tower?
They say, yes, the Lady of the Deep. My companions and I unwittingly released it from a chronomantic prison beneath the sands near the city of Panacea on the western side of Levidia. It's my fault that it was released on the world, and I need to bind it into another chronomantic prison, hopefully before the Denisotvans are able to tame it, or perhaps side with it, or even just direct it towards the better northern section of Levidia. I suppose it would be... Yeah.
Does Castia know what the Lady of the Deep traditionally looks like
It's
at
a
this
massive worm that has 3 maws and a lady for a tongue.
point? Mm-hmm.
A lady with a weird kind of double head.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Cool.
it's a halfling and a merfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Castia will just be very quiet.
Well, I suppose we could help you with that.
Well, it's what I need to do. But if Penford's where you need to go, I could perhaps prepare myself better there. I don't think I'll be able to fight it right off. I definitely will need time to prepare.
Yeah, you should. I feel like you should definitely prepare. It sounds like a tough task.
Mm-hmm.
Any objections to Penford?
Well, probably more friendly place than Swordbreak for us right now. In all
Can't be
fairness.
worse.
True.
Okay.
Should
Then-
we message
Penford?
first?
I guess we'll just send a message to Hanild about
Oh, once we get to
what's
Penford,
going on.
I can send a message to whoever you need.
Oh, great. That'll be perfect then.
Yeah.
I just don't want her to think that like we're abandoning the ship. I know she really wants to be captain, so I mean, good for her.
Sonat would say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Bip, bip, bip.
Privateers, it's fine.
Whoosh, the tower will vanish from the nothing, and it will appear in the city of Penford, which, by the way, in all the games of Threshold, this is the first time we've arrived in Penford. This is the first time we've been to the big city.
We
So,
did it.
We did it. Okay,
All it took was breaking time and reality.
game's over.
Yeah.
We can just go ahead
We
We're not
won.
going to talk about this.
And
We won D&D.
We can end it there. Like, all the other stuff didn't matter. The important part was getting to a city.
Yeah.
So, upon arriving in Penford, Sanat has the good care to place the tower in an area north of the city, but inside of its walls, where there's very little construction. There's very little, things that will be in the way of the tower, and sets it down neatly. When he exits, he kind of looks to the cube and kind of puts it into his sleeve. Or, sorry, their sleeve, apologies. And then kind of says, I will be heading into the conglomerate offices. I don't think any of you are really allowed there. So if you need me, shuffles around into their sash, pulls out a sending stone, and hands it to the group. Whichever one of you wishes to be in contact with me, that'll be the way we do it.
All right. Takes it.
And then an elder says, makes sense.
I don't understand.
It's fine. You don't.
None of us understand.
It wasn't important. We'll just, contact him when we need him. Them.
Penford's a big ass city. It's got all the amenities of a big ass city. So I'm just gonna go from left to right, and whatever you basically want to do in a big ass city, we can do. So we'll start with Kat. Big ass city. What are we doing?
I would probably. I was not kidding. I would like a drink.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
Need a drink. All this timey-wimey bullshit.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. That was an interesting encounter, and I'm over it.
Don't even remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't
That's
remember.
probably why I'm like, fuck, I need a drink.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened? I don't know what happened, but let's just forget about whatever fake stuff I'm thinking of. And so off character here, I was just looking at my character sheet, and I just realized that one of my flaws says I have a weakness for the vices of the city, especially hard drink.
Yep.
That was on accident. I didn't even mean.
No, that makes sense for Blatto.
Yeah, it does.
Explains
Oh my
all the
God.
kids too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no.
So yeah, you are able to very quickly kind of get information regarding where you could find a very quick place to snap up a beverage. I would say that the closest place to your locale is located on a canal. It's called the Toasted Crab Tap House. And they say it's right near the bridge over the canal, and it's got a big red crab that has scorch marks on it as a sign on its roof, right above the door.
Fantastic.
That lobster.
Definitely.
Do they have $5 margaritas?
Um,
Endless shrimp.
they don't know what $1 is.
Do they have 5 copper margaritas?
No,
No.
that's
Oh,
silver.
lame.
What's a margarita?
We got margaritas.
Oh.
Several of the cultures of Parnag came up with the
They
margarita.
have 1 silver frosted mead, okay?
Yeah,
That sounds great.
All right.
hate it with the
If you
frost.
tore up.
Ray of Frost. Damn, that's a good way to make money. Yeah, Ray of Frost. Ray of Frost. You.
I or Lose would like to go to the like a town hall or the
Okay.
magistrate.
Magistrate. Okay.
Because we have that
Bounty.
bounty.
Now,
I believe it's 1,800 gold that we're owed.
I would say that you probably don't have proof of that bounty on hand. It's probably on the ship.
Didn't...
Really?
I mean,
I thought
Ravik
Orlando's
was carrying
just like
them around quite a bit.
Oh, is Ravik carrying them?
He carries all of his trophies, I thought. Like, he pulled stuff out of a bag before.
I traded
thought
a
that-
trophy for a scroll.
yeah.
That's right,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's right.
I thought that Orlando's
So-
would have it on him.
Well, Orlandus isn't with you.
He's in the tower.
Oh, I thought he was in the tower.
He was in the tower.
Did we leave him in the
He's
tower?
not in the tower anymore.
He's back in the ship, like, where the fuck did everybody go?
No, they're there. That's fine. Yeah, you've got the scroll. It's fine.
we got teleported out. He got teleported out.
John, I
was
will-
like, you're not part of this. Get out of here.
And that's how
I
I
will come
feel about
physically
people
fight you.
missing sessions.
You missed 2 games, you're gone!
You're gone.
I'm trying to be responsible.
Fair. You can go
I
ahead.
even went and found my other notebook.
So, Bravik, are you going with Lose, or are you going with Blathild? Or are you going somewhere else?
I'm going somewhere else. I'm gonna go try to find the contact and see what's going on. I want to look into that weapon shipments that's been coming this way.
Hold on. Sorry, folks.
The immersion is broken. No.
Okay.
He's sending me information.
Sorry, I just realized I have a package being delivered at now, I guess.
At
8 o'clock.
9?
Yeah, Amazon's been really goofy.
Oh.
It's
Oh,
supposed
they
to
do
be-
deliver till 10.
Well, it was one of those situations where it's supposed to be here between 2 and 6, and now they have some young kid delivering it. I've never seen them give me the driver's information.
Oh. Oh, it's one of those after hours ones.
Yeah.
Basically, it was probably left on the truck, then taken back to the Amazon place.
So
Then
pause 2 sessions. I just want to make sure I get the last piece of information though. Blathild drinking, Orlandus will go drinking, Astrogoth will go drinking, Sonat to the Conglomerate Tower, Lose to the Bulletin Boards Magistrates. Cassie, are you staying with Blathild or are you going somewhere else?
I think the original plan was for me to go to a library here
Okay.
to find information.
Mhm.
Library and Bravik.
But now I have lots of things.
a contact for
to look up.
bounties or a contact for the Kengo?
Kango.
Okay, that could be interesting. All right, be right back.
I want to know what this criminal overlord wants with all these fucking weapons.
Bum bum bum.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah.
that is fair, but at the same time, it's a criminal overlord. Why the fuck wouldn't he want weapons?
In a wartime, yeah.
Ooh,
Whoa.
it's a big leap there.
So glad I
He
found
might-
this.
He might be a
notebook,
good
though.
ally to have. So
Mm,
hey, you got a lot of weapons, we heard, and we're about to fight some fucking
or it's
people.
gonna get you killed.
Maybe. Curiosity killed the rat.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't explicitly see that.
Yeah, you heard my chains jingling though.
I'm trying to remember what these
Sonic rings?
notes are from.
Soft. I assume that was me anyway. Soft footsteps and jangling chains, like, and then a bunch of feet chasing me. They could have been chasing me. They could have been me leading an army.
Oh, I
trying to save
remember.
you guys. Who knows?
Okay.
Okay.
That was the underground stuff.
Get my clan from the mountains.
Well, at
Mm.
this point, I don't know what's going on. That's why I'm just like, hey, I'm gonna go fucking drink. Y'all can lead this story since I'm just an NPC.
No worries. I'm getting us money.
Good. I'm gonna need it.
Good, because I want to buy myself some magical weapons.
Well, not all of it's ours. We still have to split it.
Nope, it's all mine.
I mean, if we
No,
never
no,
get
no,
back to the
no.
boat,
I killed the captain. Y'all were just distraction. Y'all were like, we'll sneak on there too. And then y'all fucked it up.
Like I said, I'm just an NPC. Might as well have
I
an
was
exclamation
impressed
point
though.
over my head.
Y'all did really good getting as far up with that ship as y'all did.
It is the big 40th session, Andy. We solved a puzzle.
I'm really proud of us.
We made it to
that-
Penford first.
I tried to cheat it, but
a bunch
First
of big
big
secrets
city.
got revealed, but nobody remembers it.
Uh-huh.
Well, y'all remember it.
You
I
don't.
remember it.
Well, I don't either.
I think
but-
Ravic's the
I
only
rolled
one that
less
does.
than you. I rolled a
Yeah.
6.
I'm gonna get you alone at some point. Casting me like, so you're gone.
I'm surprised Lose remembers anything.
That probably finally explains the no holy symbol thing to Ravic.
Yeah. It's like, You
I
know,
don't think
I've
Lose
never-
remembers
I've
any
never
of
liked
that.
the whole no divinity bullshit in this world anyway. I don't. Those guys are assholes.
Hmm.
I made the covenant, and now I can break it.
Castia still Castia to Lose.
Same.
I
don't care how many
Fucking
weird
called
names
it on
we-
Cardiff, though.
Dude,
That's the question. How much do y'all remember? Like,
he said
Vague.
what we remember is
Vague.
it's like dreamlike is what he's saying. So
Yeah.
like
y'all
over
remember
here.
the old weird wizard guy talking about stuff, and then poof, right at the bottom of the tower. Like, oh, what?
It's a weird trip, okay?
Yeah.
Literally.
Mushroom dust, something,
Where'd Orlandis go?
probably. Yeah, where did he go?
He got thrown into a time warp. He's just gone.
He
He's gonna pop back up eventually. Like, I was falling. For 30
actually,
minutes!
he actually just like pops up on the ship.
Face plants deck.
Yeah. He has to sail back with Honild.
So message, hey, we're in Penford. Have fun.
Oh no.
Okay, I'll be there in 2 weeks. Don't mind me.
Who was mentioning me? Oh, fair. So many pings on Discord. What else do I know? Cassia needs to go to the library. I had to go do the magistrate thingy. And what else are we here for? I'm still trying to sort through my notes.
Orlandis was trying to get allies or something.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Because there was actually something with the privateering that we were supposed to be doing. We need allies. It's been a
Probably
minute.
not gonna think that matters very much anymore. Existential crisis era.
I mean that's fair.
The bigger issues at play here.
A little bit, you know. building. Ah, there's the Knave of 6.
Okay.
Over the strait. There's that crystal thingy. Mm. Yeah, I guess that's really all I have. I could make it really fun and pull out my deck of many things. Or sorry, it's a deck of illusions now. Is it? Yeah, it's now the deck of many things.
Damn, did you get mugged?
I don't think we're that desperate though.
This is a
At
ploy to get him to
least
come out the
at
house.
least yet.
Call the police in 10 minutes.
And what is this getting split into?
Okay, folks, I'm sorry. I haven't gotten
You're
it
good.
yet. So this
Oh no.
this asshole just drove away.
What?
Long story short, I put the window was 2 to 6. I was like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried this one-time password thing because it's not a cheap item.
Yeah.
And I've had them lose shit. And so they sent a message, which I replied to within 3 minutes. And
Yeah.
now they're just driving to the other side of Broad Ripple. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on
Weird.
this while also trying to give you my attention. I'm sorry.
You're good.
This is annoying.
Sorry that's going on.
Yeah, if I'd known it was going to be such an aggravating mess, I thought I was just going to go out there because their car showed right next to it. I went outside and then then they drove down my street, wrapped around, sat in a parking lot for however long I was gone, and now they're just driving to the other side of the world.
Oh, that's weird.
You're like, where's my fucking package, dog? I'm here. I walked outside, you drove past me.
Yeah. So, and I'm wearing a green screen shirt, so like, how could you miss me, right?
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
And the
Kinda
bright
hard to
neon green
miss.
shirt, like.
And my green screen's all messed up because I moved and bumped into
There
it.
it goes.
Okay. So anyway, who would you want to deal with first? Who wants to go first?
I volunteer.
I'll go first.
You guys got to roll off or fight about it.
I said I'll go first.
Go for it.
But so did he.
Go for
Oh.
it. She can go first.
He can go first. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So when you go to meet
Five.
with the contact of the Kengo, you are able to get a hold of one. But they say, you really shouldn't be looking around right now. You do know you're being hunted, right?
Again?
For what you did to the Lycoi. They were Blade loyalists. From what we understand, you turned in a bounty after killing the master of the Lycoi. I believe Kojima himself is actually hunting you down. He's deployed the hand of God.
Oh,
Aren't we
lordy.
special?
I don't think he's in the city as of yet. But I have no loyalties to you. But I also have no orders to stand in your way. So I wish you the best, but stay away from me.
Slid behind him, slit his throat. No witnesses. No, I'm good. I'm good. Well, I gotta get the fuck out of Dodge.
All right. Then, who wants to go next?
Me.
Okay. You said you were going to.
The magistrate
Right.
or
You chuck in the thing, you get the cash. There's really not much to it besides that, unless you want there to be.
nope.
Okay. Whatever I was promising
And
you.
it's 18,000 gold and 40% to us, 60% to the crew.
That sounds right.
Great. Bookkeeping done.
Okay. And then, Katya, you said you're going to a library?
Yeah, it's been like 5 months since we talked about why we were trying to get to Penford, but I believe it was to get some kind of information. I
Okay.
believe there was supposed to be a big ass library here.
Yeah, there is.
I think that's what it was called.
Big Ass Library. That's the name of
The
it.
the Penford.
Big Ass Library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cafe.
The Starbucks.
Yeah, they got a Starbucks.
They
Oh.
don't.
A
They
buck.
don't-
Sorry, Red Dragon.
It's a buck star. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a Red Dragon Bucks.
The Red Dragon.
Siren Bucks.
It's a Red Dragon.
Okay.
We've established long
Okay.
ago that if it's not a real place and I don't have a name for it, it's a Red Dragon. You enter into the library. The scribes and custodians and attendants and the like are not terribly helpful. You are kind of given free reign in the space. But there are a number of sections of the library that are kind of invite only or designated specifically for specific individuals, like government. There's another section that's for arcanists that are guild based or conglomerate based that have licensing and the like. But most general knowledge, historical knowledge, or stuff you'd find in a library would be in this library.
The two main things that Castia would be looking for would be something about that runestone and the sword that it may be attached to, and trying to find some kind of religious story or myth that reflects the three beings surrounding her from the vision.
Sure, you're religion trained, so you already know the three beings.
Okay.
They were.
I know who they are, but I'm trying to see if there's a specific, like, myth or story of something like that.
If you had to go through it, like, your memory is also serving you well. The moment that you were there for was the moment that Onayonomen was judged with the law of death, the writing of the law of death.
Branded and
he was turned into Alunusuro. Divine power of dark sorcery and undeath.
Okay.
Anything else?
And then the rune sword stuff, the rune stone.
Sure, there's a shit ton on the black sword. The black sword of Rastagar, also known as the rune sword of Stashianatl, also known as the gift sword from the moon, the champion's blade, Esper edge of the goddess. It is said to have last been seen, according to histories, last been seen located in the fallen city of Rastagar about 100 or so years ago, when a very strange cataclysm befell the city. A pyramid, inverted pyramid, appeared above the city with an angelic form hovering above it. Massive beams of arcane energy cut through portions of the city, killing thousands. A fight occurred on top of the pyramid. Many said that the Grey Order's red beacon star was seen to have fallen on the top of said inverted pyramid. So the bottom, I guess, the top. And then the pyramid crashed down on the city, killing even more. The city was later taken over and controlled by another ruling family. The ruling family that once ruled Rastagar Kingdom in Parnak was completely obliterated in this cataclysm. They were replaced by, I forget who the patrons voted for. I think it's Olenstan.
Okay. And I'm assuming if she looks at the rune and, like, drawings or sketches of it, it probably...
So yeah, you would know the rune marker specifically designates a power of... Let me see here. This one was... Hold on. I'm going to my notes and I'm trying to search by... this one would specifically be for Ouroboros, which is the defensive property for the rune blade.
And the last thing she would try to look up was the Covenant of the Ascended, since I'm not sure how much of that is actually known.
Yeah, so it is known quite well amongst the living, and since you already kind of have a handling on how it goes because you wrote it, the best thing I could say for you then on your studies is that according to the common understanding, the popular in modernity, the popular way that the Grey Order exhibits action on incursions or breaches of the Covenant is by sending their red comet, who you would know from your readings, is Shade Thathos, a very powerful psionic warrior known as a Battle Mind, played by our beautiful Joe Orbick.
Be basically just trying to confirm the things that she was told and saw to try to grapple with the fact that what she was told is true.
Yeah. So then you would move on to the next. We'd move on to the next person.
Yeah.
So Blathild, you, Orlandus Astrogoth, you head to a bar, settle in. You would kind of get information just loosely. You've been in a bar before, but mostly you're drinking to kind of get over what's going on. Orlandis is also very tired and haggard. You know that Cassia's safe. Sarth's with her. And then Astrogoth is actually kind of plucking strings and kind of tooting doots, keeping folks at a livelier pace. Oh, it looks like they're turning around and coming back this way now. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
I believe in them.
Well, okay. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm sorry, you guys. But the thing I was going to say is that how did it teleport back onto the other side of the? I don't understand, man. Okay.
Hard F.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Blame
apparently
Dan.
must be time travel shenanigans. What you would note is that there is a lot of word at this specific location of the goings on of the ports of Penford, specifically the northern ports of Penford. And from what you hear and understand, the Crimson Drake, which is a ship you would be familiar with because it's Orlandis's, is due in port tomorrow. Which means that
That's fast.
Honild probably booked ass after you got abducted and headed in this direction.
You know, good for her.
You're definitely of a mind that you did not appear here in this space in reality at the same time or within the normal allotted amount of time. It feels like maybe a day or two has passed that you lost, that you didn't keep. So I did do time travel shenanigans, just not as bad as I did them during the last Friday game.
Thank you.
It was what, a year?
Yeah, a whole last year I just took it from them.
Yeah.
Got too damn close to the spiral.
Yeah.
But I guess, is there anything for you, Blothild, that you're interested in kind of information-wise or anything that you want to do at the bar other than drink and drink away your annoyances at whatever just happened?
So I was telling them while you had stepped away, I'm kind of just an NPC.
What?
And I said I'm just an NPC, and
No.
you know, haven't been here for
I'm so
all
sorry.
other 39 sessions.
No, it's okay. Like, again,
So, I don't even know why we're here, where the hell this is, or
Sure.
anything like that. So nope, I'm just kidding.
no, I understand. I understand. And I do want to make sure, like, you understand exactly where we're at. Like, so Cassia's definitely having a moment, right? And you're kind of her, like, familial protector in that regard. So I would say that, like, in this space, like, drinking was definitely a character decision that makes sense to me. And Orlandis is probably very similarly, like, kind of imbibing. So yeah, Astrogoth is also playing some smooth music, and you guys are just chilling. All right, last but not least, Lose, you said you were going to. No, you already did that. We already did that. That was not last.
Yeah.
Balthil was
I
last.
already did the bookkeeping.
Okay.
But I would probably rejoin the group
At the bar.
at the bar.
And Bravik, is the same true for you?
After being told you're being hunted.
By the hand of
Yeah.
God.
Would you like to share a class?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just gone. Like nobody knows where I'm at. I skip town.
The hand of God is coming for you. Peace out.
Bravik skip town.
First I would go to the library see if Cassie is still there.
Well, what I would say is do you wish to, like, meet with your bounty contacts at all? Because, again, you have contacts that are not Kengo affiliated, because you have been kind of split
Probably
loyalties.
should check in. Probably should check in. Yeah.
So what you're actually able to learn is that Kengo has been mobilized for a while, and from what it sounds like, it's been mobilized since a little before the time you kind of arrived in Cardend. And you're learning a little bit more about what's been going on with them while you've been busy. They have they have a number of contracts on the docket which are very concerning for you, and that the bounty boards aren't taking on because they're all internal, but that the folks inside of, like, bounty searching have been able to figure out. First off, they're hunting you, but the bounty, like, affiliates are not taking any kind of. This is an internal matter, but they can go. They're not concerned. There's also a bounty on a woman who is somewhere in the mid 5 foot range, brown hair, pale skin, said to be somewhere in her teens, late teens, who answers to the name Castia. The Kengo is specifically hunting her down. And it seems that the contract, according to the bounty board, isn't an internal contract. From what you can tell, it appears that it is a contract that they acquired from a very noble source, the dynast king of Jernaris himself. That's what's said on the street anyway, but there's no official proof of that.
That guy.
Along with that bulletin, though, or along with that notice, you'd also have a wanted poster for Castia. The bounty officials, the people who are officiating the bounty, they say that they won't take that bounty because they will not have a situation, because it's dead or alive is the response. They will never have a bounty that has anyone under drinking age as a kill option. The bounty, like, affiliate in Jernaris has some lines they won't cross.
A little bit of standard
I'm getting bullied.
immorality.
But the value on that contract, Bravik, is 10,000.
That's it?
So cheap.
It's just a young girl. I mean,
What's Fabrics?
oh, nobody knows. 'Cause
Oh.
it's internal.
Oh, fair.
You won't see me in my normal look anymore. This guy's 24/7. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Don't mind me.
I'm a kobold now.
Well, you gonna come share with the class?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna run out of it.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Second I see, I'm like, that sounds very familiar. Is there anything else I can learn while I'm there?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, so what I would tell you, though, just so we understand, the Hand of God is not a specific person. It is not a group of people either. It is more a onus on a contract. Basically, if a Hand of God is put forward, it means that above all, besides the higher spirits themselves in the Kengo, above all, this person is to be hunted. Most lower individuals in the Kengo will not see this as their contract, because if they try to do it, there's a basically on-site situation where if you're in my way trying to steal my honor for doing this contract, there's going to be a lot of infighting. They're going to fight for the right to murder you. That's what the Hand of God means.
To murder.
You. Gotta add that last part. Murder you.
Yeah. You.
Time to use all that ninja training. Stay undetected for the next 60 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll hunt them back down first.
Fair. And then for Blothild, Orlandus, and Astrogoth, news from the Western Front is not great. It sounds like there's a lot of aerial combat happening with the Conglomerate Navy, the Conglomerate Aerial Navy, and the Denisotvan airships over and around Balthanir, which is the mountain near Cardend. So it sounds like things are picking up in the war front situation. But you all arrive back at the same place. Sanat is very much keen on addressing the worm problem. Obviously, I've put a couple of other problems on your plate there. Feel free to discuss how you want to address them.
So you said Castia's little bounty was it was actually on the board, like it was.
Yeah, you can pull it. You can pull it. You can have a parchment.
I pulled it. I fucking brought it.
Hey, look.
We
you're
have a
famous.
problem.
I would make a comment about how it's only 10,000.
Yes. I just got more than 10,000.
Hey, that's all. That's insulting.
I know.
I assume Castia would probably be
She killed a dragon.
last one to walk
back,
in,
yeah.
given. Yeah. So she'll probably arrive midway through that discussion.
No child of mine should be worth that little. Biological or not.
Takes out 10, just writes another 0 on the end of it.
On the way. Like I killed there.
Well, that is a problem. I guess we'll have to keep Cassia a little closer to us.
It looks like it's moving back this way. I'll be right back.
Okay,
Sorry, guys.
you're good.
Hate to do it.
Believe in you.
Quick role play while he's gone.
I know.
Oh, I accidentally broke the whole covenant again. Just like
Is that why John can't get our stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He mentioned
Um,
the Wyoki. I'm like, who the fuck are the Wyoki? I don't remember.
Once-
This is the Pirate King.
Lykoi. Oh, that was the vampire guys. I don't think that you
I
were with
didn't
us for
kill-
that.
I turned into the bounty for it though.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we didn't
that's
take
true.
anything when we.
I killed him. I'm like, I didn't do it.
Sorry, that was us.
I didn't know.
I mean, was it?
The castle was fucking dirt. Fucking.
Was it even us, or was it from us fucking the tree up? I don't think we
It was the
actually,
tree's
like.
fault. It was the tree's fault.
Guilty by association.
Good to know. Maybe I should send in a fucking messenger. And be like, hey, I didn't do it. Like,
Sorry.
I just took the money.
Sure.
Look at that.
Oh. Well, at least our ship's coming back.
I'm so fucking furious right now.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Did you
dude.
drive by again?
He's flying away. It says the driver has to make a few more stops.
It
Right.
drive by twice.
He sent a message at 8:54. I replied at 8:57.
Yeah.
It's not good enough.
Was that the last one that you got from him?
I'm just waiting.
That's fair.
I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna keep Cassia close to us. A little closer, yeah. A little better eye.
Did you say where this came from? Or did they say where this came from? From Rabbit.
It's on the paper.
No shit, Sherlock. Who put the
the-
bounty on her?
The Dynast King.
Yeah.
I know, but I know
Benares.
that, and I didn't know if he had told us all of that or not.
Yeah, thank you.
I
No,
mean-
we got a problem. Is it? Oh yeah.
Do we just want to like go talk to him?
That's what I was like. Can I ask you why? Also,
Why do you need
consulting,
her?
by the way.
Also, do we know who the Dynast King is?
The current Dynast King is an individual named Malvin Mirganda, or Malvin Daroth. Hold on. I'm gonna type it.
I believe in you.
It's
They're gonna look at his notes like I don't even know.
so the last name, the name of the family is Malvin Daroth. The first name of the specific and current Dynast King is. Fuck me, where did I put my note? I guess it's not terribly important. I could just say whatever, but it's Dynast King Malvin Daroth for the time being.
Okay. And do we know anything about said?
He is a de facto leader of the Kingdom of Jernaris, the Dynasts of Jernaris. Jernaris is no longer the ruling power in this area, though. So 60, 80 years ago, just a quick history lesson. 80 years ago, the conglomerate was doing some shit that they shouldn't have been doing, trying to do nation building in other people's countries. The conglomerate is a very powerful organization of magical magistrates who try to police magic. But when they were in other countries, what they were trying to do was basically police magic while doing evil magic shit and controlling governments with magic.
Okay.
Something about liches.
The
The
you
Lich
know.
Majir was like 100 years ago. Some evil shit was happening.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
but it was all happening similarly. So what happened about
Yeah.
80 years ago is they recalled everything, all Jernaran shit, anything that was conglomerate affiliated was pulled out of everybody else's backyards and pulled back into Jernars, into the city of Heisrick. In the doing, like during the time they were fucking around before that recall, a lot of the dynast kings' territories were split away through rebellion, through territorial mismanagement, through the conglomerate realizing that the things that were being done to the populace were fucking wrong, and so the only way they could just be like, okay, no, our bad, was to just be like, yeah, your country now, this is your kingdom, enjoy your city-state, okay, bye. So Levidia is ruled by Penford, the capital city of Penford. Levidia right now technically stretches from the eastern coast that you see there where Penford's located all the way to the western mountains. It stops, like land-wise, at the sands of Panacea. Panacea and that whole desert, and then the big mountain just to the south of that, the big mountains to the south of that, the little bit of land on that strip across, not across the bridge, but right there. And then all this middle land is known as Anundia. Anundia was taken over by the Denisotvan forces 10 years ago through conquest. They claim that they were granted it because of old dragon right. But that's disputed, obviously, because they're currently warring with the conglomerate. See before. Then, to the south, the whole southern land there is known as Ulamon, the barony of Ulamon. The barony of Ulamon was the first to fall to Denisotvan rule. They just destroyed the fuck out of their capital city, and then just started kind of trouncing through everywhere. That's their capital, yeah.
So they're just kind of like Denisovans are just kind of wrapping around.
Yeah, and we had a campaign called Resistance at the Threshold that took place at a city or a town called Gateneath, or Gate Beneath the Mountain of. It was a fucking abomination. Who cares? But
A tale as old as time.
Yeah, a Zixacall, if you will. And then in the center, that island is known as Ordris, which is its own independent city-state, but 50 years ago, before the Denisovans showed up, it broke contact off with everybody else because its king, or its ruler, the Storm Herald, went psychotic, and there was a very massive kind of infight between the Storm Herald and his loyalists and those who were kind of like, you're being insane. So, yeah, very Games of Thronesian shit. The story for Ordris is currently being played out, or was being played out, and will be picked up soon in the Tuesday game, which is entitled Song of the Nameless. Okay. And yeah, that bridge is very broken.
It's very broken.
It was broken.
Broken bridge.
It was broken with intent.
Fair.
It's
'Cause
working as intended.
The only move for the Denisotvans around was through the back for a flank. So now they have to go through the Dwarf Bridge on the western coast. And that's not good for them.
Yeah.
So, history lesson concluded. No problem, of course. I don't even remember if I sent you the handout. I feel like such a jerk. I will send that before next time.
I think you literally just said, here's your character.
Yeah, I said, here's Bloodfield, here's what she's like, and here's what you know about
Yeah.
it.
That's cool. It's fine.
I think it is a pinned thing in the.
Yeah, it's a pinned thing in the thing.
In the thing.
Yeah, if you go to the general chat in Discord and click on pins, there should be a PDF called Rush.
Yeah.
And if you load that, it'll have the blurb I just basically said.
It's like all the way at the bottom.
Better written, and it might say the Storm Herald was sooner. There might have been a discrepancy between old copies and new. Anyway, the point is that you folks are all together. We know that Cassie has a 10,000 gold bounty on her head. The Dynast King himself placed that bounty on Cassia's name. How does he know her name even? What is happening? Vravik has been blacklisted by the Kengo and is currently fully on the hunt, so much so that a hand of God has been issued against him. Astrogoth is gorgeous, always.
Yeah.
Sanat wants to do battle with the worm, also known as the Lady of the Deep, to try and bind it into the tower and seal it inside of the chronomantic prison that they believe is present there, and that you folks would be like, yeah, it's there. But
Did
we
anyone ask Cardiff if he wanted a pet?
Nobody asked Cardiff anything like that. But yeah, a big worm.
Does he want a worm?
I mean, he's getting one.
I mean, I don't care.
Either he's getting one or Sanat's head's being splattered open by the Lady of the Deep, like the vision.
I think Cardiff would love a worm.
Fair, yeah, probably.
How do you plan on going about this, though? Giant...
So there's the rub. Okay, so we have a couple issues. One of them is Joseph, unfortunately, due to work scheduling, was not able to make it this evening.
Right.
They would be very much required in the planning. If they're unable to make it next session, then I can just kind of NPC Sanat, but I don't want to do it too much. I did it a little bit today, but I don't want to do it too much because I don't want to steal agency from the character. We then have the issue of either staying in the city and waiting for Hanel to arrive with the boat, or doing something different. And we also have another issue of trying to find out why these. Well, I mean, we kind of have an idea of why Bravik, because Bravik's contact said the Lycoi was the onus that caused the hand to be thrown.
I mean, it wasn't entirely his fault.
For this.
Yeah, it wasn't entirely his fault.
Well, again, he was the one who collected the bounty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one who collected the bounty. So that's
Yeah.
the main
Possession
rule.
is 9/10 of the law, buddy.
Right. So I would say, and again, it's been a headache of an evening with the whole Amazon situation. I'm annoyed, but I don't want that to be the reason why I'm suggesting this. That's not the only thing. I feel like having Joseph here would be better, and having us kind of work through what they want to do regarding the lady. Because the way I'm imagining it, and if Joseph has a better idea, then so much the better, but I'm imagining that you're going to appear near them in the desert, the lady, I mean, and then try and go out and find it and lure it back to the tower and seal it. So that's the plan. What things you will want to kind of discuss, because there's some things that Joseph's character is aware of that they may be able to kind of muster out of mothballs to help you with that. Airships and shit. So, there's stuff that can make it a much more interesting encounter. But again, I don't want to give you the solution. I want them to have a chance to kind of make it real. So is everybody okay with me ending the session a bit early tonight?
Yeah, the only thing that I'll chime in with before we end is
Yeah.
when Castia returns and I'm sure is told that there is a bounty on her, she will be kind of detached and unconcerned about it. Like her mind is somewhere else.
All right.
Well, she doesn't really need to be concerned with it.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like,
Because we're going to beat whoever...
And for role-playing reasons, I would say during your library studies, Sarth is playing the good boyfriend, although not technically in a relationship with you yet. But, like, as you're carrying books and, like, moving towards, like, a table, he's very much kind of, like, holding the books and, like, taking them to wherever you say to go. And then when you look like you're super, like, invested in something or super sad or, like, worry face, you'll be like, is there anything I can help with? Do you need me to get you anything? And then you're like, yeah, go get me a latte frappuccino at the Red Dragon Cafe. Because all girlies be loving the delicious, fluffy drinks. And so he does it, and he pays with his own coin. Oh, what a boyfriend.
Oh,
like
cute.
buying the coffee and carrying the books, which, by the way, are likely hardcover books. Like, winning.
Oh my
He's
gosh.
a strong boy.
He is a strong boy.
He's a strong boy.
What
He also helped kill Dragon.
Yeah, he also
And an angel. I mean,
Yeah, he killed an angel.
we did it again.
Stole my
So
kill
then,
shot.
we'll go ahead and end it there. Thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next
Bye.
Friday as we pick up from there. Ciao.